let us learn about Bootstrap. So what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is a free front-end framework which includes CSS and JS-based responsive design templates. It helps us create professional-looking website very fast. So there were some guys who put in a lot of effort to create some CSS classes and JS-based functions. Now we can reuse their CSS classes by importing the Bootstrap library. This will save us a lot of time because we do not need to recreate the same CSS classes. So why should we use Bootstrap? So first, it is very easy to use and it will help you create very good designs in a very short period of time. The second most important feature of Bootstrap is that it is responsive. By responsive, we mean that even if you view the web page in a browser on your PC or you use it on your mobile phone, Bootstrap will ensure that it looks good. Bootstrap is written to be compatible with all browsers. It may happen sometimes that you write a CSS code which works on one browser, let's say Chrome, but fails completely on another browser, let's say Internet Explorer. Bootstrap ensures that their classes are compatible across all browsers. And as I already mentioned, using Bootstrap will save a lot of your time because you do not need to rewrite the same code which has been written by everyone. So how do we add Bootstrap library in our code? As you can see, this is the starter template which has the Bootstrap library already imported. How do we import the Bootstrap library? We go to the website www.bootstrapcdn.com. Next, we copy the links which are already present over there for the CSS library and then we paste it over here. Next, we import the Bootstrap JavaScript link and we place them inside the body. So this is how we import Bootstrap. As you can see, Bootstrap is imported using link. Similar to the way we imported our own CSS file, Bootstrap is also imported. The only difference is that the href is on a URL. So this link is pointing to the Bootstrap CDN where the Bootstrap library is present. Similarly, to import JavaScript, we use the script tag. The script tag has the source attribute which we use to point to where the JavaScript library is kept. You might be wondering what integrity exactly is. So, when we fetch the file, it might get corrupted. To check whether the file is correct or not, we do a hash function on it. A hash function, if you do not know, will generate a unique ID of the entire file. This ID is what is given in the integrity. By comparing the ID, we can make sure that our file is not corrupted. This is also very good for security because let's say the Bootstrap CDN website is compromised. Then some unethical person might put some malicious code in the Bootstrap library. Now, everyone who is using the Bootstrap CDN will have the malicious code and your credit card information, your debit card information might be stolen by such a unethical person. Having integrity will ensure that even if there is a slight change in the code, your Bootstrap library won't be imported. Let us see in detail how to go to the Bootstrap CDN website and copy the CSS and JS code. So when you go to the bootstrapcdn.com website, you will be able to see this page. Over there, you can click on the CSS drop down and you will be able to see three different varieties of link present. Choose the HTML version, and once you click on the HTML link, you will be able to copy it. It is automatically copied, and then you can paste it in your HTML file. Put the CSS code in the head. Pay attention, guys, this is very important. Put the CSS code in the head, but put the JS code in the body, at the end of the body. This is very important because CSS should load before the website starts loading, and JS should load after the website has loaded. Because JS uses ID, and before an element is initialized, it does not have an ID. Hence, if you import the JS files in the head, then it will give an error that an ID does not exist. So just keep in mind that JS libraries should be opened at the end of the body and CSS libraries should be in the head. Now that we know how to import Bootstrap library, let's, yeah, so you can similarly for JS, go to the website, choose the JavaScript tag, and then in HTML, copy the code to import the JavaScript links. So now that we know how to import the Bootstrap link, let's see what Bootstrap provides us. So Bootstrap provides us with containers. Containers is a class which provides a responsive fixed width container. Container Fluid provides a full width container spanning the entire width of the viewport. As you can see below, first there is the container which has some padding on the right hand side as well as the left hand side. But Container Fluid will take up the entire width of the screen. So if you put an element inside container, it will start after some padding. Whereas if you put something in Container Fluid, it will start from the very beginning of the window. So this class, which is .container, is provided by Bootstrap. Let's have a look at some other useful classes. So the first is the .p class. The .p over here, P stands for padding. What we mean by padding, let's have a look at it. So as you can see, we have a text button over here. If we add some padding to our text, it will look like this. So if we add a padding of left to our text, then it will look as shown on the screen. Now let's see how our button will look when we add a margin to it. So we have this text, and when we add a margin of left to this text, you will see that there is a left gap present, but it does not have the orange background. So it means that padding adds some inner width to the text. When you use padding left, an inner extra space is added to the text. But when you are using margin, an outer space is added to the text. Hence, you do not see the orange background. There are many other classes. So to use the padding left, you use PL. which is written over here. It means that P stands for padding and L stands for left. Similarly, ML would stand for margin left. P stands for padding, M stands for margin, L stands for left, R stands for right, T stands for top, B stands for bottom, Y stands for the Y axis, which is top and bottom, and X stands for the left and the right. So, by a combination of these characters, which is P, M, then T, B, R, and L, you can specify the different kinds of padding. To specify the different measures of padding, let's say you want to add a very large padding, you need to specify PL-phi. So if you use PL-phi, you will get a very large padding. But if you want to use a small padding, you can use PL1. So this is how you control the amount of padding which you want to apply. Next, there is the button. So dot button and button primary together will create a button which has a blue background and has rounded corners as shown in the figure. There are many other button types possible, and we'll have a look at them in the later sections. So this is it regarding padding and margin. These are very important as they will be used very frequently when creating a website. Next, let's have a look at some predefined background colors in Bootstrap. In Bootstrap, primary means the blue color. So if you apply the class bg primary, then you will get the background color to be blue. If you use bg secondary, then you will get the gray color. Success stands for green color and danger is red color. Similarly, there are other background classes as well. You can use them to design your website. So if you want to have a button which has a green color, you use .btn dash success. That button will have the green color and will allow you to create a button which a user will press when there is a success. So if you have a yes, then you can use this button success. If you have a no, which is dangerous, then you can have bg danger. Let's have a look at some typography classes provided by Bootstrap. So these are the classes: font weight bold, which will make your text bold. Then there is font italic, which will make your text italic. There is text left, which indicates that your text should be left aligned. There is the text center, which indicates that your text should be center aligned. You don't need to remember all of these. As you keep on using and seeing them in some code, you will get familiar with them. Next, let's understand the grid system of Bootstrap. This, I believe, is the most important feature of Bootstrap, and this is what makes Bootstrap responsive. Bootstrap assumes that your entire screen has been divided into 12 equal sections, and you can create grids in your 12 divided columns. So you can choose how much space your content should take by controlling the Bootstrap classes. Let's see how to write the code to create the grid system shown over here. So this is the entire code to create this Bootstrap grid. Let's analyze this line by line. So first of all, we have the div class container. All the grid systems in Bootstrap must be put inside a div class equal to container or container fluid. Once you have put the div class equal to container, we want to create the first row. So you need to put div class equal to row, which will tell Bootstrap that you want to create a new row. Inside the row, we use div class equal to call md12. What this means is that Bootstrap will create a column of medium size which has the width 12. So as the grid is divided into 12 equal columns, we are taking up all the columns. Hence, all the width of the website will be taken up using this div. And we will have the entire screen for this column. Do not concern yourself with what MD means over here. We'll learn about what MD means in the next slide. So now that we can create this row, let's have a look how the second row is created. So we again have div class equal to row, but over here, instead of using call md12, which would have taken the entire width of the screen, we use to call md6. So this is the first column, which has a width of 6 out of 12, which means half. So the half of the width of the screen is taken by this call class, and the other half is taken by the other div. So that is why we see two columns, each having a width of 6 out of the 12 grids divided by Bootstrap. To create the third row, similarly, we use colMD4. Now, as 4 by 12 is equal to 1 by 3, we take 1/3 of the column when we use colMD4. As we have 3 of them, we see 3 columns, each of them taking 1/3 of the screen. Next, we have 4 columns, colMD3, colMD3, and so on. Column D3 is used for defining 1 by 4 of your screen. So each of these columns take up 1/4 of the screen width. And similarly, we have column D1, which will take 1/12 of the screen. If you use 12 of them, you will be able to see columns, each of them taking one width of the 12 imaginary grids divided by Bootstrap. So this is how you create a Bootstrap grid. You can have inside a column multiple rows as well, and inside each row you can have multiple columns as well. So you can have multiple grids inside each grid and create as much complex structure as you want to. So this is it regarding understanding the grid system. Now let us understand what exactly the MD means. If you remember, I said that Bootstrap is very responsive, and the main reason is that we use Bootstrap grids. Bootstrap is responsive because it ensures that once the screen size is beyond a certain point, two columns are converted into rows. So multiple columns would come down below one another and create a row so that your website is responsive. The way to do this is using these classes. As you saw earlier, we used call MD class to define our grid. MD stands for medium. And for devices which have screen width greater than 768 pixels, the columns will behave normally. But if your device size is less than 768, then these columns would come down one below the other and be converted into a row. Similarly, there is SM, which stands for small, XS, which stands for extra small, LG, which stands for large, and XL, which stands for extra large. Each of these have a corresponding pixel mapping. So XL corresponds to 1200 pixel, LG 992, medium 768, small 576, and XS less than 576. So when should we use call XS and when should we use call SM? On very small devices, in portrait mobile phones, the pixels is less than 576. So if you are targeting such a device, you should use call XS. But if you are targeting your mobile, which is in the landscape mode, then you should use call SM. If you are targeting a tablet or a medium device, then you should use call MD. Sometimes some small laptops also have the screen size which is similar to a tablet. Hence, small laptops would also come in call MD. Then there are laptops which have a bigger screen width and they come under call LG. Then there are desktop PCs and televisions which come under call XL. So if you use these call SM, call MD, your grid system will be very responsive and your entire website will look nice on different devices. So that's it for Bootstrap. You do not need to concern yourself with remembering all these classes. With time and practice, you will start remembering these classes.